You're live. Did it, did it, did it.
It's okay.
Did it, did it. Hi. Hello. Uh, Hello, everybody.
He claims me through and through. We grow in faith this day.
For a while.
Heaven's on the way. Salva Vida, saving grace. We hope in Jesus' name. Like a light guarding the sea, His goodness can set them free. The shadows love you lift His name. Salva Vida forever change. Red, blue, white, green, yellow. Salva Vida, saving grace. Bringing hope in Jesus' name. Salva Vida, forever change. Red, blue, white, green, yellow. Salva Vida, saving grace. Bringing home in Jesus' name. Salva Vida, Salva Vida.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. It is Salva Vida once again, and tonight we are coming live to you from 88 Keys Manila Studios. So, our venue is sponsored by 88 Keys Manila, and I have with me my dad, Reverend Philip Ong, for tonight's session. So, for a little bit of a starter, shall we do a little bit of a Pinoy henyo, but a Chinoy version. So instead of saying, ano yun? Oo, hindi, and pwede, you're gonna change it into, sabi niya, etso eh, sabi niya, ubo, ano yun ba? Oo, ho, umsikap, etso eh. Ho, umsikap, etso eh, di ba? Sige, silang ba? Ho, di ba? Si ho. Kasi si, si,
Si
ha?
Si
Si,
Hui,
huyo,
是非啊，
si si na lang lah. Si this lang ba? Si na mula kong hui.
是
Si si kap
对的，
it's it. Okay, so for those who are not native speakers or Hokkien speakers or Banlam OS speakers, ho is yes or like si is yes, si is no, and etsue is puede or like maybe like something like that. I was supposed to use a whiteboard and a marker, but unfortunately, I could not find my markers. These are all permanent ones. So for tonight, we'll use paper. We'll use paper instead. So maybe just a few words. I'll pick three words, and maybe you can also pick your three words, and let the category be the same. Lang, Sodzai, Japmi, and
再讲，
Mikya, bagay, right? Tao, bagay, hayop, or pagkain. There's no lugar, right? Is there lugar? Sodzai, din. All right. No, because we're gonna write the word big so that they could see it too. So three for you, three for me. Yeah. And then you write your word. Yeah. Don't show me your words, and then I will write too. Please diversify the words into three different categories. I will try to write as well.
英文的啊，是韩文的
Ah, yung siya nang eh.
啊，
Di siya yung bun kap
英
ham
文
bun
的
lo. Yung bun na lang sige. So hello to our listeners or viewers wherever you are. Feel free to drop by and say hi, and we'd like to greet you personally on our live. So I will write something. You write something too. Let's start with who do I write? What do I write? Hmm.
是下，你底下你做啊，接回下，
Where's siya ba?
你想想，
Okay. For a while. Hmm. Na may siyang siya sa miya. Tiyak mi ba? Si tiyak niya. Si di ay cincay ba? Okay. Okay, what siya daw ko pa? Word. Di na. Okay, di siyang siya di word. Okay, so I already have my word. And I'll show it to them na. Don't show me yours. This is my word. Can you see it? There. This is my word for my dad to guess. So we'll try to do the Pinoy henyo, but in a Chinoy version. Chinoy henyo. Yala, are you finished? Tanzibo means for a while or wait. He's not yet ready. It's just one word. I only wrote one though. I have there are two more but I haven't like gabi siya pa. Aba, yung hindi kang eh. Kasi ko po ay hindi ko hindi ba siya siya. Siya tao siyang di tao siyang yo na lang. Di tao siyang yo. So, di word do. Sige. Okay. Yan. Pwede boy ko hindi. Okay. This is his word there. This is his word. Alright? And we're gonna try to let him guess it, but we're gonna use Hokkien or Banlam or Mingnanyu or Mingnanhua. Ready? Kay Silo? Okay.
讲你
Ho.
对
Si.
追
Ho. Etsue.
疼
Si.
无定
Si.
追
Si.
阿伯
Ho.
你
Si.
是
Ikyang naman. Kape
Kape.
is coffee. I wrote in English coffee. Kape is coffee. So 1 point for Papa. That was fast. Okay, my turn. Here, you can cover and put here and show it to them. I'm closing my eyes, so I don't know what it is. 你可以看到的吧？你讀掉咯。
啊，哇，
你看到了，我哋坑起來了。係，開始。
可是
是人，
唔是
食米，
唔是
物件，
是
佇厝內，
会做的，
物件佇厝內，人咧穿的，
唔是
人帶去的，
唔是
人咧坐的，
唔是
物件佇廁所的，
唔是
物件佇厝內，
会做的，
人咧夾的，皮包、
唔
冊
是
包，這是物件，
是
也大的物件，
是
厝內，
是
厝內，
会做的，
厝內的 part，可能像窗啊、
唔是
門，
唔是
唔是，這個是着插電的。
唔是
免插電的，煮食咧用的，
唔是
洗衫咧用的，
唔是
咧困的
啊
咧用的，哈，冊
唔是
我咧用
哦，
手機、
唔是，
電腦，
唔是，
唔是 electronics，
唔是，
唔是 gadget，
唔是，
物件，
唔是，
你啲嘅，你穿嘅，哈，爸爸呀，衝呀坎坷，水板，
唔是，
嗯，
你知啊？這個
好物件，我就切伊 category 啫，
哦，物件，
物件佇厝內，桌頂，
唔是，
唔是 furniture，
唔是，
佇厝內面，
嚇，
親像 sofa。
唔是，
椅啊，
唔是，
門唔是 TV，唔是棉插電嘅，你講
唔是，
衫唔是你穿嘅，
唔是，
鋼琴啊
哦，特別咧，
，piano，it's piano, it's piano,
真係
it's so
特
hard.
別咧，
Yeah, piano. Anyways, okay, I lose that one. Daddy got the point. All right, another one. 康阔弟弟，我弟弟换一次，你换一次。我要想什么个康阔我爸有。是，唔是啊，唔是。OK，看你有就直接问。掉。This is the word I wrote from my dad. You see it? 開始咯。
嗯，
Ready, set, go.
食物、
唔是，
物件、
唔是，
所在，
唔是，
什麼吧？食物、物件、所在，不該，
靠這個讀埋啦夢。
咩頭字？
bagay, hayop. Tawag sa ganyan, tama yung,
狗、人、
lang, ho.
人、
Si,
人、
應該是。
人物，
Si,
需要嘅人物，
哈？
政治家，
Si,
明星、
si,
唱歌，
si,
唔是，人、
ho. At zoe.
職業，
Si,
唔是，唔是職業嘅人，
si,
政治家，唔是，
si.
先生，
At zoe.
先生，鋼琴嘅先生，
Si,
先生，大學嘅先生，
si.
唔是，
For those who just came in, this is the word my dad is trying to guess. Quick back.
啊，
This is the word I'm letting him guess. But this is the Chinoy Henyo version. Go.
先生，
Si Shin. At Zui Shin. At Zui Shin.
最先生，
你就想較快。
先生，
At
很多人
Zui.
讀書，
At Zui. 你知咯？
即先夫
新呼是啥
，please，
？At Zui. 應該是 At Zui 好 At Zui.
即寶寶做狗，
唔是。
是
哦，你創個水吧，不過你哋對direction，你哋對你咧約差不多啲下咯。
就是宗教嘅
哈，
宗教先生，
這樣好，
宗教先生，牧師啊，
這樣啊，哦，你個暑假有名man，
啊有名嘅，
你那講出怪人，伊嘛是有名，可能像Jose Marichan 有名，你就講伊個名你啊，哦，
辦牧師，
唔是，你問較親嘅吧？你問看伊是佇倒落啊？你看啊？
有呢種嘅牧
唔
師，
是，
喺菲律賓，
唔是，
啊是喺美國，
唔是，
中國，
唔 唔是，
Pilipinas?
唔
唔是
是，哦
中國。
哦，
活動。
唔是，
唔是。沒有。
siret na. Ito yung sige siya nga.
Ang bukso.
Sige la. Di kayo si Bekala mo.
Sim. Yeah, so. Okay.
Yeah, so, Jesus. Diba si Shensi, si priest, si high priest yun. Oh, di lo. Di ko yung mga guay di siya. Ay, guay, word siya. Ko yung kwate lo? Okay, come lo na. Ready?
Yeah.
Lang.
唔是。
物件。
你做的。
物件。
是。
伫厝內。
唔是。
伫學堂。
會做的。
學堂會做冊。
唔是。
伊毋是冊哦。伫學堂看 blackboard 安尼白。blackboard 叫做啥？黑白。白。鉛筆。
會做。
鉛筆安尼。鉛筆。ball pen 是啥 ？ball pen。鉛筆是 pencil 嘛？ball pen 呢？水白水安尼，毋是den。
唔是。
草紙白紙。
會做嚟，筆會做。
筆會做，筆會做。
ball pen 會做。So, dito kay Kun, it
chalk. Whiteboard.
Pit na trong
Pit,
ball pen.
Ball pen. Wato po kay Hun pa.
Hindi ko
Ang syak e pit.
tiyo lo.
Ang syak e pit to. Di ang pit to.
Ang lang na.
Ang lang no. Kanan si di words he read lang. Kasi parang descriptor do. Well, anyways, ang syak e pit. Okay. So the words were a while ago. I asked my dad to guess coffee, cafe, or kape, piano, gongkim, or gangqin. Red for dad, which is just ang, or ang is for red kasi ang siak. And me, I made him guess Jesus or the teacher, Jesus the priest, Jesus the king, all those things. Last word, you have one. I have another one too. Siya nga, beyo lo ba? Di beyo lo ba? Okay. Let me think of another word. Nabehuyo siya ni Mikia. Okay. This is his word. Ready? Go.
Chạm
MC.
Sổ tay.
MC.
Sổ tay. Lắm.
MC.
Nhìn kia.
C.
Chú lại.
MC. It's with it.
You got me.
It's with it.
Chaki.
MC.
Làm mê tỏi. Làm mê chiếc. Sa.
It's with MC.
It's with MC. No.
MC.
Làm mê chiếc.
Sucks. Yeah, go. Kasi wala bandi cute part of the body. So di kong sa titiyo lo man ang suwak ka di kong si. It's with it lo. Di socks. Papalo. Okay, last one mo. Ready? Kain ko hatilo ba? Okay. Down. Sige silang. Mikia. Mikia ti tulay.
It's with it.
Mikia the chak dian eh. Si chak dian eh. Sige si appliance. Si appliance kasi ito chak dian. Zao ka le yang eh. Ti tulay mong kao. Si thằng iya tổ tiếng lan lệ yang eh. Di lệ yang eh. Di asong yang eh. Chuki. 不过差点嘛那个，你也上映诶，我知呀咯，圣经
Uh,
Bible or
uh,
圣经，that's
wala na
Bible.
yung chuki di ba?
Oh,
Kaya
may papa,圣经是准是ano naman, electronics.
kaya mo
Pero
si
yung
Tito.
may yung man, Bible. So anyways, that's our little
Oo.
teaser for the
Yeah.
day.
Medyo.
And so for those who just came in, we were just playing a little round of Chinoy, Henyo, wherein we just say yes, no, maybe, and it's just use CMC and Kiamtai or like CMC,
Sweet.
Etsui, and like those things. There's a little blooper. Today is Sunday, right? And then I went to church. And then because it's the first Sunday, and usually in the church,
For Sunday.
first Sunday is Holy Communion. So it's my very first time to attend
Again.
again, yeah, the communion, because normally it's online or maybe I am doing house church with dad. So the first time I went to church and I was waiting for the ushers to like give me or to hand me the communion packet, but I wasn't like, I'm not aware that before you enter the sanctuary you're supposed to grab your own
Oh,
na pala. So when the head pastor was like saying, okay, let's do the apostle creed and everything else, and then he was like saying, and then he broke the bread and something, and I heard so much. I said, where did they get that? Yeah, so confession, I did not partake the communion a while ago, but on the way out I made sure to pick one out, maybe because I was very early
right.
this morning, so maybe
Sure
these
was not
things
yet.
weren't there yet
Yeah.
during that time.
Astros are not yet there.
Yes, so anyways, how are you today? You're good? Me too. I'm good. I've been doing a lot of self
Yeah.
care and self discovery. And I wanted to say a lot of things that, like, before I told you I don't want to renew my license anymore. But thankfully, you forced me to. Now I'm able to drive because of that license. And I realized that the road or the people outside, some of them are really kamote drivers. And you really have to have a lot of patience. Like, sige boss, signal ka na, bigla, tsak, lang. Or you have to drive really carefully and not be distracted with, your phones or anything. Just make sure when you're like driving, you're only focused on the road and then the maps, and then like look left, look right. Because one time I was looking at the right because I thought I already checked, okay, left is clear. And then suddenly when I stepped on the gas, vroom, something came, and good thing I was still,
It's
I was
not.
just starting. So I was like, oh, where did that came from? So yeah, a lot of times you have to really just entrust your life to God, right? He said, people say, what is trust? Sitting on a chair is actually you trusting the chair will hold your weight and not let you fall. So it's the same thing when you're driving. You also trust that God will protect you from all kinds of harm. But of course, you know, do your due diligence, but then practice and all those things. And before, I don't like parking. Now I'm forced to park on my own because you're not there. And I even went to the trouble of going downtown. I had to ride the hectic Blooming Street Market. That's it, Yolo. Dulay duso, dulay duso. Because I was just following the maps. Tauti titolo. Well, it's like you fully trust the maps, right? And sometimes that's what God is asking of us, to fully trust in Him, because He is more, knowledgeable about things, about life in general. And as what I've mentioned last meeting to them, I started doing Tai Chi, or like Tai Chi Chuan. And this is like a book that you can like check out. This is a book by our teacher. His name is Xu Jieli. Is that correct? And in English, it's Jeffrey Copiaco. So, Sir Jeffrey, hello. Thank you for your book. Says, hi, Rachel. Keep the positive energy flowing. Stay safe. So, there's like a dedication from him. So, this book is really nice because it, tells us about how the Chinese people normally like exercise. It's more of exercise, and like the benefit of it, for example, to improve your sleep quality, for if people who have insomnia, your mental health, because there's breathing exercises, body flexibility because we do a lot of slow movement. Yeah, because isn't it? I have osteoarthritis, so this type of exercises suits my need.
Personal
Yeah,
needs.
of physical fitness and physique. So the movements are not too hard because my classmates here, they're all amas and
Yeah.
angkong and like a little bit on the
Grannies.
older, yeah, on the older upper register
Mm-mm.
registry.
Elderly.
Yeah, and then we gather chi, or chi is like energy, like chi, like lung
Air.
chi, the chi, yes.
It's
So
air.
air, so we gather it and then we explode it and then
Breathe in and
gather
breathe
it
out.
again, and yeah, those things. So it's nothing much about, you know, because some people will think, oh, you're Christian, why are you doing like that? No, it's more of like just for the body, just for the,
Physical
yeah, for
exercise.
exercises, exactly. And then we do this too, the breathe in and breathe out, and then you hold your breath for 3 to 4 seconds. This is exactly what the therapist was saying, the box
Yeah.
breathing. This one, it just became even better because there's movements,
Mm.
and then our teacher was very musically inclined, so even our songs for the tai chi chuan was also like carefully crafted, if I may say. It was really um composed, and it was really like commissioned for that particular movement. So for example, if the movement is like this, the song will be go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like there's timing and all those
Mm.
things. And I remember what the principal told me before. This is something to do with your body's rhythm. If your rhythm goes out of the way, your whole system will change
Yeah.
because you're no longer in the loop. Like if you run too fast, right, on the treadmill, and then you can no longer control it because it's way too fast, you'll really slip out. And that's what happened to me back then. So now I'm just trying to slowly go back. I actually went back to teaching already. Praise God, right? Who would have thought that I would be back inside the classroom teaching, doing the things that I love to do, and I'm also back fully in like teaching one to one. And so those are the things I'm really, really grateful for. How about you, Dad? What had been some of the things that you've been busy about, or what are the things that you're grateful for the past few weeks?
Yeah, I'm grateful for my two daughters. When I was sick, they were the ones who take good care of me. Once was before you got sick, you the one taking care of me.
Yeah,
This
that was
morning I
our,
was thankful to God. And the second time I was confined, you're already sick at the time. You
yeah,
cannot accompany me anymore. So
yeah,
your
shortest,
sister,
yeah,
Michelle, is
stepped
the
up.
one
Yeah.
who took care of us. The
Mm-hmm.
two of us, actually, when
Yeah.
you get down. So, yeah, they're thankful that God provides people that will support us when we are helpless.
Yeah,
But at
that's
least
right.
we are not hopeless. We are
Yeah.
hopeful.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
hopeful.
there's always
And
hope. And so I'm also grateful to you because you gave me another chance to do ministry. Maybe because of my condition physically,
mm-hmm.
I need really to focus now on on this online thing. I need to educate myself anew. And this is a new thing for me. So maybe we have already surpassed what, 1 month, more than a month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
because you
already
said
our
what,
seventh
7?
episode. So
Yeah,
that
so
means you've
going to
already
the second
been,
month, entering
yeah,
the second month,
doing if seven, like next week is already a full 2 months.
2 months. Yeah,
Yeah, next week.
it's nice.
Yeah. So if you've like been journeying with us, you've probably noticed that for the past few weeks we've only um produced, or
Yeah,
yeah, the one that we released are the pre-recorded ones. It was because
too busy.
yeah, we
Yeah,
were a little
a
bit
lot of hectic
busy for the
schedule for the
past
past
few weeks because there were like
events.
opportunities
Yeah,
and events that
events.
came up. Like for me, for 88 Keys Manila, I was spearheading the free trial
Hmm.
classes at SM Santa Mesa, and also there was a time in Green Hills as well.
Right.
And then for Dad, he was invited to like do a short
Yeah, video.
interview or a
Yeah,
video
for Chinese culture.
for, yeah, for a
Milan,
community,
Banlam,
yeah,
Uy.
about preserving the culture. And that's why we did a little bit of a Chinoy Henyo a while ago.
Mm.
So yeah, that little community is really
Yeah.
fun to be with too,
And
because you,
I'm so encouraged also to translate maybe later on in this
okay,
channel to produce the Chinese
all
version,
right,
the
yeah. So
Minanhua version
we
of
also
the
got
same topic. Yeah.
some feedbacks from other people. Yes, like English is majority of our, probably the English
Your
speaking people
generation, but
are,
my generation
yeah.
maybe is the Chinese one.
Yeah, so they're requesting if we could do like a
Yeah,
Hokkien version. So my dad and my sister would be
helping me. Yeah,
spearheading that section. So they would do whatever we're doing here, but
in
in
Chinese. Yeah,
Banlamwe.
Banlamwe.
Yeah, so they'd speak in
And
Banlamwe.
yeah, for those people who want to learn Banlamwe, you could get in touch with us too.
Yeah,
We can
through
help
the
you. Yeah,
Salva Vida or
absolutely.
just
Yeah,
through private message or anything like that.
any way.
Yeah, feel free to
Yeah, feel
message
free just
us.
to let us know if
My
how can
dad,
we be of help to you.
yeah, my dad would be more than happy to help you
Yeah,
out on
I
the
have a lot of materials
language.
for
Yeah,
that.
language side of things, whether it's in English or in
Yeah,
Tagalog or in Hokkien or in Mandarin, we
yeah,
have
we
some
have all the
resources for those
resources for you
things. Yeah.
installed for you.
Yeah. So, wag maghiyang
Uh,
magtanong. Yeah,
so
right.
let us know.
Yeah. So those are the things that I've been quite busy about.
Right.
And Dad would now take over, and I think you're gonna share something
Yeah,
with
let's continue the
regards
series that we
to
have been doing.
the
Yeah,
kingdom established.
yeah, the title, The
So I'll just be
Kingdom
here
Established.
and you take the floor.
Right, right, no problem. So we've been talking about evangelism in the last few weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but focus on mental health, and we want not only to serve people who are suffering mentally ill, but at the
Sorry.
same time, we want to talk about the spiritually ill people, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
all this, there are solutions in front of us, especially in the spiritual side. As we have said, even Jesus, even Paul was accused of being mentally ill, but we knew God is sovereign in His sovereignty. But at the same time, we also know that the gospel is the good news. That's why we called it, one topic that we have discussed is proto evangelium, which means the first preaching of the gospel in Genesis 3:15. And so we are discussing some of the things that Jesus tried to fulfill, the prophecy that He had tried to fulfill. And so let's continue that mental health is not spiritual because Jesus already achieved his mission. And let's continue on that because we believe it's a medical side. That's why we need to ask the help of the medical people, the psychiatrists, the psychologists. They're our partners helping people in this situation. Even people of different categories, their illness. There are people who are undergoing medication. There are people who are undergoing counseling,
Yeah.
therapy, right? Not only physical therapy, but even, counseling therapy, especially the brain, because it's so complicated. The brain really is a complicated creation of God. But spiritually, we need to continue to understand, you know, as we continue tonight. So, again, I am your co student in God's Word through Salva Vida Ministries. And so let's look at Matthew 12:28. It says, "But if it is by the Spirit of God that I cast out demons," this is what Jesus said, told them. But if it is by the Spirit of God, Jesus cast out demons, then he said, the kingdom of God has come upon you. It's a past tense. The kingdom has already been initiated and established by Jesus. Very important insight for us to ponder. We know that Jesus came to destroy Satan. That is his goal in the previous verses that we have studied. In First John 3, right? Verse 8, it talks about he came here to destroy the works of Satan, the devil. So it is interesting to know that in our time today, as if Jesus Christ failed in his mission, because that is what we have been told and what we have been taught. Even I myself, as a full-time worker, that's what I've heard. And even to the point that Satan has not been destroyed, even in our modern day. We even quote 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, that the God of this age has blinded the mind. So as if he is still in power, as if Jesus did not succeed in his mission. So let's be reminded. Now, what is the reason behind that kind of instruction or teachings? It's because of the Jewish unbelief. No, Jesus could not do it then because the Jews rejected. And that's why they even taught us that the kingdom was postponed. As if when you are having your flight, the flight was delayed, right? Now, how long has been Jesus been delayed?
I don't know.
The
For a
kingdom
long
up to
time.
now is postponed. more than 2,000 years, still waiting for the kingdom to come. But on the other hand, for me and others, affirm unequivocally and undeniably and irrefutably that Jesus fulfilled the prophecy that his mission to establish the kingdom and destroy Satan was accomplished. Let's look other passages like Luke 11 verse 20. But if it is by the finger of God, Jesus said, that I cast out demons, again, then the kingdom of God has come upon you. It is again another verse. A parallel passage says, by the finger of God, Jesus established the kingdom and cast out demons. Now let us look further in the book of Psalm chapter 2 verses 1 to 12. This is what we call messianic psalm. Psalm chapter 2 is often quoted by pastors, teachers, professors, talking about the Messiah is coming. What is this prediction about? That the Jews will reject the kingdom, but God will laugh at them, for his plan to establish the kingdom and destroy Satan cannot be prevented. That's why even in the New Testament, in Acts chapter 4, verse 11, this Jesus is the stone that was rejected by you, the builders, which was become the cornerstone. You see? So it was applied in the time of the first century that this Jesus has been sent by God, the Messiah, is the stone, the cornerstone actually. But they rejected it. Now the question is, did God postpone his mission? Did Jesus postpone? No. Look at verse 28 of Acts chapter 4, right? To do whatever your hand and your plan had predestined to take place. So it tells us the testimony that the plan of God continues to be fulfilled and nothing can prevent it. I hope you are inspired by these passages. And that's why I said I am myself learning and open my eyes now that because normally we are afraid when we are having this mental trouble. Normally people would say, there's evil, there's the devil. So we keep on blaming others, blaming the devil, just like in the book of Genesis when God asked Adam,
Who ate or
huh?
who told you to eat
Yeah,
the
no, who
fruit?
told you that you are naked?
That one.
And then he said, what? Because, did you eat
Yeah,
the
the
fruit?
fruit of the
Yeah, and
knowledge
then
of
what did
good
Adam said?
and evil.
How did Adam answer?
Eve asked me to eat.
Pointed the finger, forgot the three fingers pointing at him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then when Eve was asked,
The serpent or the
you
snake
see,
asked me
so
to.
in the end, who is to be blamed?
The snake.
The devil.
The
The
devil.
devil made me do it, you know?
Yeah.
And
I
every time,
actually
yeah,
asked you that one a lot of times.
right,
I said, if God was all knowing and God knew that Adam and
yeah.
Eve is gonna fail the test, then why
Why
did
did he
he
still
even
continue?
why did he even
Yeah,
give the test in the first place? And then
right,
you told me, isn't it you're a teacher, you also give tests to your
right.
students whether they would pass it or not, but you still give it because you just wanted to test maybe or something like that. And you said because God gives us free will or like freedom of
Yeah,
choice.
because that's what I'm emphasizing in this series. There's this God sovereignty. Yeah, God is all powerful, all
Mm-hmm.
knowing, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget there's another side wherein God made humans responsible. So if He will not test you, like a teacher, you don't test your student, how will you know that they are responsible practicing at home?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like a check and balance or
Right.
something like
That's
that.
what God's plan is all about. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, hope to see you next week, as we say in Salva Vida Ministries, bringing hope in times of trouble and witnessing God's saving grace.
All right. So that's my dad's segment. Yeah. And so for me now, I'm just gonna add on a little bit on that before I say goodbye to
Yeah.
them. Because in my title I posted there
Yeah.
something to talk about, like midlife crisis of
Okay.
Fil-Chi, like a person who probably lives within the community of Fil-Chis. So, because I just came from a little reunion with my church
Mhm.
friends, and
Okay.
we are friends since 2014. We started to become friends when we were just back in college, when all we think of was how to graduate, how
How
to
to finish
submit
your
this
school
paper, yeah, and then we transitioned from being
from
extremely
student to young
extremely
professional.
studious, yes, to young professional, and we all had a little period of time wherein we were juggling between, do we pursue our passion
Or
or do we just stick with
push.
the corporate ladder of, stability? It's like a fight between, this is what I really wanted to
You
do
have to do.
versus, but this is the more
Yeah.
stable job,
Or the
or the, yeah,
financial
or this is what people expect us to
to be.
be. Yeah. And as we keep like growing older day by day, some societal pressures come in and they will say, oh, you're at this age, you're supposed to own a house already, you're supposed to be settling down already, you should be have kids already, and all those things. But I could not even take care of myself, and you want me to take care of even more people. So that's where the like midlife crisis is coming. Is this still the path that Jesus really wanted me, or God wanted me to be?
Right.
I question that a lot. Is this really where I am supposed to be? Like teaching piano to kids, and I'm not even really so sure if how many of them will continue on with this path. And as the time changes, the students keep changing too. You know, some serious learners, some just for fun, some just for a semester, like for a summer
Summer class.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
some are really very serious, and I also get scared if they're too serious.
You might
I
end
feel
up
like
become musician too.
no, I feel like I need to brief their parents that,
Right.
hey, it's not all flowery and happy here in my course. Like you'll cry a lot, cause Kitin Z is my teacher.
The
Um,
late Christina Luna.
yes, she always tells me na 更甜也不精,
Mm.
which means, or which translates into, the arts or maybe piano is very snobbish. Like if you don't take good care of it, or if you don't play a piece, the next time you play it again, it seems like you don't know it at all again. So parang arts really requires a lot of time, a lot of discipline, a lot of resources as well, because it's not cheap, or it's not that,
It's a commitment.
yeah, to pour out your time, your energy into that
Right.
craft. And then the return of it is not always as flowery as if you just go to the medical
Right.
field, or maybe to engineering or to architecture or whatsoever.
In any profession, they undergone the same challenges. But in the end of the day, that is what we call calling.
Yeah, that's the more important thing.
Calling.
What is your calling?
Yeah.
Because, my dad also asked me, don't you want to try business? So, for a time, I also went to work with my uncle, right? I went to the glass and aluminum shop, just like any Fil-Chi, kotiam or whatsoever. Like, I was there. But if your heart is really not there, it's hard. It's hard to learn the ropes because you're not really that interested in that particular stuff. So I think this was like a little bit of a waiting season for me, and God was probably testing me. Is this really what you wanted to do?
Right.
But like for me, I really love teaching. I feel like that teaching segment came all the way from us growing up inside the church, seeing you ministering to your Bible study group, seeing mom ministering to
Sunday
the
school.
Sunday
Mm.
school kids, and sometimes I would also get dragged into, come and help us in, I don't know, DVBS or something. Even as young as
Yeah.
we were already tasked, or we were asked already to volunteer. And during that time, those volunteer works weren't heavy because we weren't really doing much at home, right? So what is 2 hours of your time inside the church and helping? It didn't feel that heavy. But of course, now being more grown up, I now understand the weight of it. It's not just being volunteers. It's like you are helping these kids learn more about God. So the depth and the responsibility of being a teacher now comes to play as I grow more mature
That's
in
what we
my
call
faith.
maturity.
Yeah, in my faith. Because that's what I told you guys. I feel like I was pushed into that field too early
Right.
when my faith was just
So
starting
little.
to, yeah, well, yeah, a faith so
Like a
little, but God
mustard
can,
seed.
God
Yeah.
can still help you with that.
It's okay.
But then it was so little to the point wherein when you get burnt out, you don't know where else to like go to anymore because you're
Just
so
like
burnt out.
Elijah.
So you don't want to go
Remember
back
Elijah?
there.
We talk about Elijah. He
Yeah.
was so successful as a prophet,
Uh-huh.
and then he got discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to end his life.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
even
even
Elijah wanted
prophet.
to end
Yeah,
his life.
a successful prophet.
Yeah, we also said that successful. What? How do you define success? That's a very
Right.
nice topic. How do you define success? For example, for me as your daughter, what is your gauge that oh my daughter is now successful? Or like for you as a pastor, how do you
I
say oh
use
I'm
Jesus as
successful?
my standard. That's why we follow Christ. That's what we instilled on your mind as early as when you were young.
Yeah.
Look at Jesus. If you
Mm.
use the Chinese standard,
Mm.
success is you have many wealth, right?
Yeah.
Big family.
You have cars and you have like
What else?
properties
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and then yeah, you have the power, you have the authority, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So look at Jesus. Did Jesus have big family?
No.
No.
Small
Jesus who had
family.
property,
No.
but he's successful,
Yeah, because he saved the whole
right?
humanity.
No, because he has his calling. He fulfilled his calling. That's success.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what we are here for. I'm asking God, why did you extend my life? I thought
Because you
I
still
was
have
already saying bye-bye to a
because you
lot of
still
people.
have mission
Yeah,
to
that's why
fulfill.
now you were telling me Salva Vida is another form of ministry that
Yeah.
you can do.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, maybe this is the task that God is giving me. Even the language, I could use now the platform, the
Yeah.
online platform.
To do
That's
that
my
one.
passion too. That's my calling, so I need to use that
Uh-huh.
the remaining years of my life. So those people who love to support us, yeah, this is now the new ministry that I can do with you guys, right?
Yeah, because my dad is no longer able to travel far and
Yeah,
wide
because of
as
my physical
yeah,
situation.
not like before we would
Yeah,
go so many places. That's why I know so many places
yeah,
because of your work field
right.
as well
Yeah,
before.
I cannot enjoy traveling anymore. It's becoming a burden for me.
Yeah, and
I tried that when we went to Santa Cruz, on
yeah.
that way. I have a hard time after that. The next time you invited me, I said, no, I'll pass.
And he didn't go with us the second time around.
I
And
cannot.
that was, I did not ask him to drive pa because I said, let's just ask
Someone
Kuya,
to drive for us
yeah,
at that
Kuya to
time.
just drive for
Yeah.
us. And then he was like, no, kaya ko yan, kabisado ko yan. And then like, oh, talaga ba?
Because before we even drive with two wheels
Yeah, in motorcycle.
every week.
I know.
That's why I get sick. I
No,
overuse
those
my
are all
body,
overwork. But then God
just
restores.
like you.
God can restore you back
Right?
to health. I think that's what I
Just
learned too.
preserve me. Maybe that's a preserved life now. So I want to make use of the remaining years of my life, my time,
Hmm.
with both of you, yeah, with the family, and of course with the spiritual family that we have.
Yeah. So I think for me, if you ask me how do I define success as a teacher, I would feel like I've become successful if I've touched the lives of my
Right.
students. If my students become even more successful than I am, or if they've like
Right.
reached their goals and their
Yeah.
targets, then I feel like, oh, I'm successful already because I was part of that
Right.
parang journey, something like that. But it's not about monetary. It's not about how much
Yeah.
wealth you gain or how much
Right.
popularity or even the name is. It's not flashy or catchy anymore as before. Before, because we study so much, not because we wanted to gain the medals and all. You know why?
I know. It's your personal.
It was all because
Yeah.
of the scholarship.
Okay, I don't know your motivation.
Yeah, it was all because we needed to like reach a
Yeah.
certain target mark for us to be able to renew, so as not to burden the parents
Yeah.
from that one. Anyways,
I remember my pastor told me once. He said, God did not like I'm a pastor, right? He
yeah.
would ask me, am I a successful pastor? I'm asking the same
Mm.
question, right?
Yes.
And I remember the pastor was encouraging me. The Lord did not tell you to win the whole people of the
Yeah.
world.
It just asks you to bring some souls
He
to him.
just asked you to do what He demands from you. Souls that you need to minister.
Mm.
Maybe one soul, two souls. It's all right. As
Yeah.
long as you fulfill what has been entrusted to you.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good advice. So no more the pressure. I need to be on this level or that level.
Okay.
I'm
That's
contented
good.
with what I have right now.
Well,
What
that's
I
good to
did for
hear.
the Lord. That's why I'm ready. I told you already. I'm ready to
Yeah.
meet. Him.
Me too. I'm ready
Right?
anytime. I always tell people, you
Yeah.
don't know your returning ticket.
Yeah.
When's your returning ticket? You don't even know how you will
Yeah.
be called back home.
Remember?
You know?
When we were discussing that, your friend father was what confined, never came out alive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've been what
In and
confined
out
for
of the
how many times
hospital.
already, and
Well,
still here with
yeah,
you.
that's
So
right.
that's what God's
Well,
sovereignty
even
is all about.
Amma, you know, every
Yeah.
time you guys go to the hospital, I would always bargain with God to please just extend
Imagine, I
them
just
a
came
little
from
bit
Amma
more, a
this
little bit
morning.
more.
I went to visit Amma.
Mm.
Say hi.
My Amma is 96 years
Imagine,
old anyway.
still, kicking and alive.
Yeah, she's very alive. She's still there.
Yeah.
You just need to like talk to her more
Right.
gently in her ear so that she
Mm.
can hear what you're trying to say. I
So that's
even
our bonus.
Yeah, I even gave Ama money one
Okay.
time because the manong taho was
No,
outside,
okay.
and I said, "Do you want to eat taho?" And of
Mm.
course,
She
the
doesn't
typical
want to.
response of
Good.
Ama is, "No, I don't
No.
want." But because I wanted to treat her, I just wanted to try because the taho is hot. The one that we buy is cold,
Cold.
so that's why she like
Yeah.
spits it out. So this time around, I said, "Why not try letting her
Hot
drink the
ako.
hot one?" And that was just 10 pesos. So I gave her like 250
Mm.
pesos because I treated her ates and
Okay.
ako as well. So I gave her the money. And the first time kasi the money was different na, diba? It's not the same
Yeah,
make as
the
what
bills are
she
already
yeah.
changed.
So she was looking at it like that, like that. And then after some time, you know what she did? She just like left it on her lap. As if like she doesn't care about it. And that's exactly what happened to me when I was depressed. I didn't care about money. I didn't care about status. I didn't care about whatever.
Nothing. Yeah.
Whatever, yeah. It, bolo yung. And it's like, in my head, it's like, taka anite,
Yeah.
sapienza ani, bolo yung, parang ganun. So in my mind right now as a teacher, when I teach my kids, I don't ask them to aim for perfection or to aim for like being the first in whatsoever. It doesn't matter. It matters more to me that you are good in character, in your words, in your deeds, yeah, and your intrinsic way of you wanting to learn that particular subject or that particular skill, rather than I want to be the top of this class, and then if you don't achieve it, you're gonna cry like buckets of
Mm.
tears. Like, it's different to set a goal, but it's different when you're like being too narcissistic into I want to be like this or like that or like that. Yeah, so those are the things that God had been like trying
That's good.
to help me with as well.
It's a new journey. That's what they
Yeah, so
say.
I think that also applies now to us as Fil-Chis na parang in the midlife crisis, that we're not, people says if you reach the age of 30 something, like wala ka na sa kalendaryo and stuff like that. Of course, you're like, oh really? But we don't feel like we're that old yet. But of course, this is case to case basis. But in sometimes I would also think about it. Oh, if I really do have a child right now, and I'm 33, that kid in 10 years time, 10 years old siya, I'll be 43. When she becomes 20 years old, I'd be 53. I also think about it that way sometimes. But as I mentioned to you before, I feel like God's commandment of, spread forth and, you know, be many. There's so many people
Mm.
spreading forth
Yeah.
already. I don't think
We need to add
lacking
more.
me, yeah, would make such a big
Yeah. Those are
difference.
calling even
Yeah,
our status
even
in life is
yeah, even
calling.
having a
When,
partner in life is a calling. So who knows? But if there's somebody,
yeah,
then
why
hey,
not?
great. But if none, I'm fine. Being lonely and being alone are two different
Right,
things.
correct.
I can be alone, but I don't feel
You don't
lonely
need
at
to be
all.
lonely. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be with someone, but you can still feel very lonely, right?
Right.
It's really a matter of like perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that we've
Yeah.
talked about, because I met with some of my church friends a while ago, and these are some of the things that we've really talked about. You were saying like, oh, you know what? Maybe because we were millennials and we came from your generation, we're in your generation, like a mass generation. What they taught you was go like this way. This is the path where you'll be successful, and something like that. But when you we're the parents now, and then you transfer to us, you didn't want to be like them, so you let us do arts, you let us do dance, you let us do piano, you let us do so many things. And now these millennials suddenly come up with, oh, we have so much skill set, and then we learned how to do technology, but we were that generation of from bond paper to suddenly
Yeah.
submit it in Microsoft Word and print it out,
Software.
and yeah, and so we learned all
Yeah.
those things, and even Excel, PowerPoint, Corel Draw, all those things we learned it. And then nowadays, it's so unfair that kids can just ask AI
Copy,
to do
paste.
everything for
They call
them.
Google,
Yeah.
Google dictionary.
But then
Google.
I feel like the millennials still had the best of both worlds. We were able to, be in between the parang stone age and the more advanced age. And we see the pros and the cons. For students who do not touch the iPad as early as now, they're more focused.
Mm.
Because, they're not, parang hindi siya stimuli based. You don't
Mm.
need a lot of like, hey, hi, 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 like that. Because as a teacher, it's so hard to sustain 1 hour of being at that high level pitch. If Miss Rachel, like, hello everybody,
Yeah.
I couldn't. My voice is just like this. It's gonna be too tiring, too tiresome for the kid to listen to you at such a high pitch as well.
Yeah. So
So
it's part midlife crisis. Yeah, those are struggles.
yeah,
But normally midlife in the category of
it
the
should be 50
scientific
years
term, yeah,
old.
is more than 50. Normally 50 to 55.
That's so, okay. Maybe it's quarter life crisis.
Actually,
Quarter.
midlife is because it get biologically to menopausal. So
Mm,
40 plus to 50 plus.
okay.
Now, andropause for male.
Yeah.
Yeah, menopause.
But I feel like the
But
age.
your what you're saying is that the professional world
Yeah.
right now at another
Yeah.
form of crisis.
Yeah. And there's still this other thing.
Young professional
The
crisis.
influencers,
Yeah.
the vloggers, the micro vlogging, like they also earn
Right.
not bad money
Mm.
there. So like we were like, oh, maybe we should focus on that segment. But
Right.
if you're not into, showcasing the world, the whole thing
Yeah.
about you, then that's probably not the line for you. Or maybe in business, if you're not into, being too,
That's
I
why
don't know.
even in professional they put it, it's calling. I remember your granny was sharing
Mm,
the story of Alma Island, if you
mm,
remember. She did that even before in their time. You need to take good care of your own business. You have to be on the
yeah,
store, watch
yeah, of
everything.
course.
And that Alma Island never
Sat on the
touched,
store.
never touched
Uh huh.
anything on the store. He just entrusted it to people whom she
She trusts.
trusted.
Uh,
Every year she migrated to Canada. Every year come back here, collect money.
and then go
And
out.
Mama would say, we work hard here, we don't earn money. She just go abroad, visit there, visit there to US, and then come back collect money. So life is so unfair, she said. Right?
Yeah.
She's like you,
Yeah.
on a roll, on a roll, on a roll.
Yeah.
Mama, I always ask her to do speech.
I know, I know, I know.
That's why
So
when you said, okay, is life fair? No,
no, di ba your fingers are not all
no,
pantay
but
nga eh.
that's
Life
not
is not
that's not
fair.
the point. Yeah, maybe from the secular world, but from the spiritual world, that's called. There are people really
Ah,
called by God to
yeah,
be
or
blessed
probably
financially, but the
talented, and
problem is
that's
people who have the wealth, they need to share,
share the wealth.
right? Those people who have the talent, share the talent.
Yeah,
So they go hand in hand to spread
yeah,
the
yeah.
gospel.
In Mandarin or in Hokkien, my principal will always say,
Ulat,
"Ulat de tutlat,"
utsi,
or
tutsi,
"Zi de tutsi,"
sila nini,
diba? Or "U zai
zai kang.
dia or zai gang de
Mm.
ki tong ah." If you talent, you just get tong they talent.
Mm.
But anyways, it's like everybody, just like in the Bible, there's a verse like that, right? Each part has its own function. So maybe my function is not in the business side of
Right.
things. Maybe it's not in the medical side of things,
Right.
but I
You
am
are
like
belong
an
to the
alagad of
arts.
singing. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
arts and science.
that's right. Yeah. So
That's
that's
good.
and probably for you, you don't belong much in the glass and aluminum, but you belong in the
Yeah.
ministering to the souls and all those things, right? Yeah, so those are some of the things that God has been like teaching me right now. And this past few weeks he had probably been teaching me to be more dependent on him, because I was born as a very independent girl. As early as like grade 5, you guys allowed me to take the public transportation by
All the
myself.
challenges in life. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not scared of commuting or like riding the angkas back
Mm.
then, because I had experience of riding the motorcycle as early as I was a little kid. So riding the motorcycle was it's
It's
easy breezy.
normal.
Yeah, it's
Day
not
to day
it's not something so
activity.
wow like that. And it was easy. It's the easiest form of
Right.
transportation from one point to the next. It's the cheapest one available as well. And back then, when I was doing home service, to cut short the time from me traveling from point A to point B, I would really take the angkas. The only thing I don't like taking is the MRT.
Yeah.
I had very bad
Too
experience of
crowded.
MRT. Yeah, too crowded. People kept pushing me
Pushing
like
you.
stampede. I fell to the to the floor. So
Mm.
I don't like taking MRTs.
Bad
And
experience.
yeah, and FX. I don't like
Mm.
FX as well because FX are so
So
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like jeepneys. I like tricycles,
Bicycles. Yeah.
motorcycles. I like the air, the fresh air. I guess. Yeah. So now whenever I drive and I see people walking around, because I've been a commuter
Right.
before, you feel for them, especially if it's raining. Slow down. Don't like,
Mm.
or else they're gonna get wet. Because I experienced that too. So unless you yourself went through that particular trouble, you wouldn't know. So because we guys went through depression, I already know. I can sense if this person is
Right.
like, oh, she's having some troubles or something like that, and I would be the first one to tell you that there's always the light out of the tunnel. You just have to find it and find the right crowd, find the right people
Right.
to help you. It may not be your family members right away. It may be your friends, your, I don't know, church mates, your confidant, your teacher, professors, anyone. Just reach out to them. They'd be more than happy to like listen to you and feel with you and empathize with you. All right. So those are some of the things that we would like to share for tonight. It's been 1 hour already, and that was probably because of the game. So, for the next few sessions to come, we'll see what will happen.
Yeah.
We'll pray about it. We'll see what God's like direction would be. But mostly, it would cover again topics about God's healing, about God's
Victory.
teaching, yeah, victory. And then maybe on the side, we can do a little bit of language, like using the Bible to learn Mandarin or using the Bible to learn Hokkien or Mingnanhua
Mm.
or using the Bible to learn Tagalog, English, anything like that. The Bible is such a good tool if you want to read about Proverbs. There's so much wisdom in those Proverbs or Psalms, right? Like songs, like
Yeah.
Psalmist David, right?
Well, dito, isipin.
Uh,
Ay, try lang takjim din.
mm, yeah.
How do you translate?
Well, Kito, if you cannot pray,
You have to learn how to pray.
you have to read
Psalm.
some.
Then,
What is Jiangyan?
Proverbs.
If you want to learn how to be a good person
Yeah,
or,
good
or a
human
person with
being.
good
Yeah.
character, then you read Proverbs,
Proverbs.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that we could do. And for me, in my personal journey, I could continue on more with my, because I have my personal channel. You can visit it. It's just Rachel Mayong. And maybe we can do a little bit of music ministry on the side. So maybe like little hymnals,
Yep.
little songs of like praise and worship songs like this. Like for example, very short lang. Kunyari, you have any song that you like.
Yeah.
Behold, what manner of love the Father has given unto us. Something like that. Behold, what manner of love the Father has given unto us, that we should be called the sons of God. That we should be called the sons of God. So if you like those little songs like that, we could play it on the piano, we could play it on the ukulele, or we can play it on the guitar. My dad can play the guitar for you. For example, in his time, in his time. He makes all things beautiful in his time. Lord, please show me every day as you're teaching me your way, that you do just what you say in your time. All right. So that will be probably the only time we have for today.
Good night.
Yeah, we'll see each other again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Hope you are all safe and sound.
Bye.
Bye. End stream.